I really regret that I could not attend your two program on 4th and 6th. Although this is an opportunity to join online, I mean, sitting in your office or at home, you have this opportunity in this COVID that you can listen to so many learned personalities. But unfortunately, I could not spare time due to my some unforeseen engagements. So, but anyway, the way you plan it, I mean, inviting three bureaucrats back to back, it's not a small thing. So, the topic which you have chosen today, personality development for UPSC, this is a very important topic. And this is equally important that without spending even a single penny, all of you, my dear friends, are going to benefit regarding personality development for UPSC. And for this, once again, I really thank Ms. Urvi Verma for accepting our invite. And I'm really very happy that during all the webinars organized by the Dichi, the number of attendees really is very good. So today I'm just looking, it is going to cross 60. So it shows your sincerity and your concern for your career. So once again, I welcome our today's guest and congratulate to the entire team and my dear students, Megha and Aarti, who are anchoring this program today. And really, I could not restrain myself. I wrote to Dr. Rajiv Ranjangiri that I will come and join because I feel bad if somebody, I mean, some guest is there and I'm not present there. Although again, it was very hectic, but somehow I spared the time and hope I will be with you on this platform. So thank you so much. Wish you all the very best.
धन्यवाद सर। आपने सदैव हम सबका मार्गदर्शन किया है, इसके लिए हम आपके आभारी हैं। अब मैं आज की मुख्य वक्ता आईआरएस उर्वी वर्मा मैम का परिचय देना चाहूंगी। आईआरएस उर्वी वर्मा मैम जो लखनऊ से ताल्लुक रखती हैं, उन्होंने इंदौर इंटर केंद्रीय विद्यालय लखनऊ से पढ़ाई की। उसके बाद अब्दुल कलाम आजाद विश्वविद्यालय से संबंध आईईटी लखनऊ से अपनी बीटेक की पढ़ाई की। उनके शैक्षणिक वाहक उनके दृढ़ परिश्रम को दर्शाते हैं और आज हमें प्रेरित भी करते हैं। इसके बाद उन्होंने यूपीएससी की तैयारी आरंभ की। जब पूरा विश्व एक महामारी का सामना कर रहा था, तब वह अपने साक्षात्कार की तैयारी कर रही थी। उनके इसी दृढ़ संकल्प ने उन्हें यूपीएससी 679वीं रैंक हासिल करने में सहायता की। वर्तमान में वह सरकार की कस्टम एक्सरसाइज एवं नारकोटिक्स राष्ट्रीय अकादमी में अधिकारी प्रशिक्षु हैं। वह आईआरएस के 72वें बैच में हैं। आज हमें मैम का मूल्यवान समय मिला, इसके लिए हम आपके आभारी हैं। अब मैं उर्वी मैम को हमारे बीच बुलाना चाहूंगी कि वे आए और हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें।
Thank you, Aarti. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening to one and all. Thank you, Aarti, for such a kind introduction. And thank you to your principal as well for such kind words for you. And I really agree with him that you guys really work hard for these messages on Instagram and how to connect and everything. And you've organized this such a grand platform. And I can see around 72 people are there online. So thank you so much for the kind introduction. I am Urvi Verma. I'm an IRS officer in Customs and Indirect Taxes. Currently, I'm a probationer undergoing training in the National Academy of Central Excise, Indirect Taxes and Narcotics in Faizabad, Haryana. The topic that was given to me was personality development for UPSC, and it is very ironic because 6th March 2020 was my interview for the UPSC last year, in which I qualified and cleared the exam, and now I'm an IRS through the exam. So it really came a full circle, and I really felt honored and kind of a sign from life that, okay, circle of life, where a year ago I was the one who was looking at these interviews somewhere down the line, trying to understand what to expect from UPSC interview or personality development, to be very honest. So the broad topic was personality development. I would focus on the third stage of the UPSC, which is after you clear your prelims and mains and you're getting ready for the interview. So right now, people are awaiting their mains result. They'll start preparing for the UPSC personality development, personality test, basically. What is personality? Personality is nothing but a manifestation of who you are, who you think are your whatever you think are your capabilities, whatever you think are your positive points, and most importantly, how well do you know yourself. So how do you define yourself? How do you discover yourself? This is a lifelong journey, right? One small talk from me or from anyone by reading as many articles as you can is not going to let you know who you are as an individual. And trust me when I say this, that everyone is unique in their own way. And the only thing that you need to do is own it, own who you are. If you can own who you are as a person, try and understand your own plus points, negative points, work on those. Do not have ego on the ones you have. Like if you have so many positive points, do not be very egoistic about it. At the same time, whatever you think your flaws are, work on it and try to improve yourself and become the best version of yourself. Right. So let me start with a personality test. So first of all, we very casually use the term interview in UPSC, right? I am going to give the UPSC interview. Casually, it's correct, but technically, the term is personality test. Now, the term in itself defines that they are there to test your personality, who you are as a person, whether you're fit to serve in the government. This exam, through this exam, you get selected to work in this huge machinery that is undertaking the development course of our country, making sure that our country runs smoothly, making sure that everything that every other person, like whatever education that you're pursuing, whatever business that you're running, everything goes on smoothly. How does this happen? Because the bureaucracy is in its place, is working day in day out round the clock to make sure that everything else is in place. So definitely it's a very rigorous process. Once you clear the prelims and mains, you are for sure tested on your academic abilities. But at the same time, the third round is very crucial because there it is very subjective. Do not expect all academic questions. So I'll start with my own experience. So my interview was on 6th March of 2020. My board was of Mr. B.S. Bassi. He was he's an IPS officer from the Agmut cadre, and he in his panel, he is one of those panelists where you are he is tricky. Like know he can ask and what. When once you enter the building, you pay the Dholpur house, and you get to know that you're going to this particular board. Before that, you have no clue which board are you entering and not. And once I entered the room, we have Mr. Bassi and we have four to five more members, and not a single question was asked from me regarding my academic whatever my subject optional subject was, or what I've done in my I'm an engineer by profession, by education. So nothing was asked. All the questions were situational. So what will you do if this happens? Which economy will you emulate? So how do I prepare myself for this? You can't. You really can't. All I could do was be honest. So I remember there were three questions that I could not answer. Honestly, I told them, sir, I have no idea. I'll read on it. It's a good opportunity for me to read on it. Similarly, when there were certain questions asked, they tried to persuade me or dissuade me and try to trick me to so thing detailed application form exam sort of which similarly there's a draft of course you mentioned which
Ma'am, your voice is
at the
breaking.
same
If
time
you can, excuse
what
me,
are
ma'am.
these
Sorry to interrupt, but your voice is
careful
breaking.
when you
Can
these you think that I can read
Ma'am, if you want, you can turn off your
Am I
video.
audible
So,
now?
yes, ma'am, you are.
So
Ma'am, if you want, you can turn off your video so we can better hear you.
okay, I'll do that. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I've turned off my video. Am I better audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
So let
you.
me know. Please just interrupt whenever there is some discrepancy. I'll do the needful, right? Okay. So where was I? I was telling about the DAF, detailed application form. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes,
are.
ma'am.
Okay. So the detailed application form usually is the CV that UPSC asks from you. This UPSC Civil Services examination talking about, in which you have to mention your basic details. Where are you from? What are your hobbies? What have been your education qualification? What have been your extracurricular qualification, if any? The core to anything regarding personality test is be honest. So when you're honest about yourself, it is extremely important that you stick to it. If you write that you love reading books, then you should know almost everything about that hobby, right from like you'll have to do a full on research on it, but at the same time you have to be honest. So if you don't know anything, don't try and fool the uh, panelists, because it is going to go really wrong. The people who are there interviewing you are people who come from all walks of life, who have experienced a whole life, who really know who you are, and who can easily catch a lie. So the bottom line is, please be honest. Even if you don't think you know the answer, just don't try and uh, come up with an innovative answer on the spot, because it will cost you. So the basic or the core thing is, please be honest about everything. If you don't know the answer, politely let them know that I am not aware of it, or I cannot recall it, because at the end of the day, you are human, so it's okay. You can make mistakes. You can almost have like you are not able to recall anything, you can't remember a particular fact, that's all right. But all of these things apply whenever a factual question is being asked. So if say they are asking about where you're from, if you're from Lucknow, see, if for example I'm from Lucknow, if they ask me about a particular Nawab from Lucknow or his history. So I should know, because they expect you to be an aware person. They don't want you to be someone who can just mug up the books, know the facts, and then write down in the mains paper and expect you to run a complete district or take important decisions or assume a leadership role straight up. So they don't want you a groomed they don't want a groomed personality as well. They expect a raw product which they can groom further in the training. But for that to happen, you need to have a particular uh, set of qualities which can be unique to you, but at the same time, you have to be a well aware and knowledgeable person. So, in case of factual questions, when it comes to your educational background, of course, they expect you to know if you've done your engineering, if you've done a BA in economics or whatever your field was. You should be someone who knows in and out about that subject. Similarly, when it comes to hobbies, you should know what sort of hobbies you're into. So whatever the, say if you like watching cricket, very basic hobby, you can write it, but you should know then if they ask certain technical things about cricket, then I mean you should not be someone who's absolutely clueless or just watch some things for fun, so all that usually come across from should come across from you as a person is that you are passionate about everything, and that you're such a well aware person that whatever you do it with equal rigor and concentration, and you have that keen eye, something that sets you apart from everyone else. This is such a tough competitive examination that you have to have certain edge on certain things. But again, at the same time, for example, I wrote video editing is my hobby. And if you ask me about extreme details about video editing, I may not know, because hobby is something that I do to please myself. It is not my profession. I should not know everything about it. So be confident about whatever knowledge you possess, but also be confident about things you don't know. It's a very tricky and a risky line to say, but if you don't know something, be confident about it and let them know that I don't know this, because it is just a hobby. I'm just pursuing it to pass my time or to relax myself. I cannot be expected to know every depth and details about it. about it. But there are things like you will know that line when you start preparing, and it will come very organically and naturally. But the bottom line to a personality development test or the personality test is just be honest. If you can be honest about everything and anything, including the number of questions. Example, they ask you 50 questions in the interview, just a very raw rough number, out of which you're not able to answer 30 of them, but you're very honest and clear about it, that see sir, I'm not aware, I'm really sorry, I'll read on it. Chances of you getting selected or not answering those questions is much higher than you bluffing them and trying to give an assumed answers that will cost you maybe a year or two, depending on your selection, or maybe a rank. Everything depends on your honesty. So just be confident and honest in your knowledge. When it comes to factual things, I would say the GS papers that you prepare and your optional subject, and the newspaper. So current affairs is something that will help you in each and every part or stage of the examination, right from prelims to mains to personality test. Read your newspaper daily. I do not believe in reading two newspapers a day, because, to be very honest, it is humanly impossible, and it is not really a good usage of your time. So if you have time and if you have that speed, which I find it very rare, then it's fine. But just stick to one newspaper, read it. Do not internalize it in a way that have your own opinions about it. Whatever the editor is writing on editorials, you can always have a look at it. You can read it, but you don't have to internalize it, stating that this is the absolute truth or this is how I should think. That's not the point. Your point should be to know the facts and then form your own opinions about it. Read about different opinions, but at the end of the day, you should have a very clarified or a very clear take on any subject, and a very confident take on those subjects. Because if a certain controversy is going on, and if the panel asks you about those controversy, then you should have your own reasons to justify it. They don't want a good right answer or wrong answer. To be very honest, when it comes to circumstantial questions, there is no right or wrong answer. It all depends on how you justify your take on those things. So it's very important to have that. Read your newspaper daily. Have a good strong hold on your optional subject. Nowadays this is one optional subject, so just read on it. Whatever sources you find, just prepare, because if you've cleared the mains, chances of you knowing it is very high, right? So you don't have to be very panicky about it. They don't ask you heavy questions, they just ask you very brief normal questions regarding your optional subjects, and it's not a big deal. Main thing is obviously the current affairs, and third is your own, where you come from. If you have a very unique name, for example, my name is Urvi, which is not very common. So in whatever mock interviews I attended, in my main interview it was never asked, but in the mock interviews I went to, a lot of people and a lot of seniors asked me what my name meant. So it usually it's a Sanskrit word, which means planet Earth. So I read about planet Earth, I read about solar system, I read about Sanskrit, just in case that whatever term I could think of, I've tried to gain as much knowledge, or at least fair amount of knowledge, to speak on it as an informed person. Yeah, they want you to be an informed person. That's about it. You should be aware of everything associated with you. So if you, for example, again, my university name, as mentioned by Aarti, is Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam University. So he was our president. So I read about him, what books he had written, everything, right? And I've done my engineering, so everything related to engineering, science background, whatever was going on in the current affairs in the science and technology department, whatever satellites were launched, because our the erstwhile president, that whose name is associated with the university, he was associated with satellites and rockets, so I kind of read about it as well. Similarly, I come from Lucknow, so I read about Lucknow. I was in Delhi, so I read about Delhi. By reading, I mean is basically going through a brief thing, so that if they ask me anything about it, I should know at least something. They cannot and they don't expect you to know everything. They expect you to be honest about things you know, and not honest about things you don't know as well. Honesty is the key. So that's about it about personality test. Regarding the your appearance, so a big part about personality test is your appearance. There is I mean, you are expected to be in your formal attire, with the gentlemen, I would say they have to wear a suit, pant, a proper tie, well ironed, of course. Go with a sober color. Gray, black should do. they can go with any color, but usually you have to have a very sober personality. With girls, it would they can wear a sari, they can wear a salwar suit. Sari is preferable because it looks much more professional. A light color usually, not with a lot of designs or not very gaudy, of course. You should look a professional, someone who's ready to serve the country, and be a part of the bureaucracy. And even with what you wear, especially with ladies, I would say that when you wear, say, a particular handloom, if you're wearing a Pochampally sari or a Sambalpuri sari, you should know about the handicraft as well, because what you're wearing may be something that might arise a few questions like, okay, your sari looks really nice, what fabric is it, or which handloom is it? And then the questions may start from there to maybe go to GI tag of that particular handloom and to its history or where it comes from, or if that place arises. For example, Sambalpuri comes from Sambalpur, it is from Odisha. Then a few questions from Odisha, which may then again range to, say, the natural disasters in Odisha. It can range from anything to anything. The link up is so diverse that you cannot expect a lot of questions. You may not be prepared about it, but given that you have cleared your prelims and mains, it's safe to say that you will be knowing a lot of things. But all I'm saying is that things do not have you cannot have a strategy for personality development. So if you're wearing something, be careful about it as well, because it might arise a lot of questions. And again, it's not something that you need to be scared of. Personality test, for me personally, it was the most exciting part of the entire journey, because you can't prepare for it. Absolutely, you cannot prepare for it. You can only learn about the facts, but at the end of the day, what happens in the room, nobody knows. Even, in fact, people come out of the room and they don't even are not even able to recall the questions that were asked from them, because it's such a heavy atmosphere. It's very overwhelming. So but whatever preparation that you do, you will think about what to wear, how to present yourself, what to speak, what not to speak, how to work on your speech skills as well. So people who do not have a particular experience in public speaking, I would advise them that maybe speak in front of a mirror about certain things. For example, if you know a certain fact, try and form an opinion about it and speak on the spot in front of a mirror. Or if you have friends, or if you're preparing in a group, then maybe you can ask each other certain questions. For example, just how I linked, say, certain cyclone funny or whatever, to Sambalpuri sarees. That link is so extensive, but that happens with a lot of practice. But at the end of the day, you never know what question are going to be asked you from the panelist or the board member that you'll be assigned to. All you can do is hope for the best and prepare your best. Other than that, have a very positive attitude, regardless of what happens. At times, and I know a lot of people who came out of the interview room thinking they have not done, or they have not given their best, or they will not get selected, and they end up with one of the highest marks. A very good friend of mine got 201 marks, and his interview was not at all what he had expected. I mean, he couldn't answer a lot of questions. He was stammering at a lot of places. He couldn't For him, according to his perspective, interview did not go as per his expectations, but he got one of the highest marks. Similarly, someone who gave an interview and came out very happy, thinking she will score easily 180 plus, and she ended up scoring 150. Both of them got selected is a different story, but all I'm saying is that you never know what is happening, or what board member you may think that board member is happy, but at the end of the day, they might not be very happy with certain questions. So you really can't do much about it. It's very subjective. So all you can do is be positive, be happy, be confident, always have a smile on your face whenever you're talking. Do not look very gloomy. Do not let that internal anxiousness and anxiety come over your face. Appear as a confident person who is ready to learn, who's ready to listen, and most importantly, do not have any argument with the panel or board members. If they try and tell you something, you stick to your point, but in a very humble and polite way. Don't try to come out as a very aggressive person that I know what I'm talking about and no, you're wrong. Please do not do that, because they're much senior to you. So have a good ear and try to be open about their opinions as well. And if they try and dissuade if they want to have a different opinion, if they want you to change your opinion, if you don't want to do that, have a very humble and polite response to it. be very polite about it, that okay sir, I may understand, or okay, I understand your point of perspective, but however I would like to stick to what I think is correct, and I would definitely do that. And always do everything and always say everything with a smile on your face. Okay, don't overdo it. Don't appear as someone who's very happy to be here, so contain that, but at the same time don't appear as sweating, drenching, and then shaking and voice stammering. Don't let that happen. It is easier said than done, but I have done it, and easily anyone can do it. It's not that difficult. Just be proud and confident and happy that you are getting to be a part of a bureaucracy, and also you are getting interviewed by such extreme esteemed panelists and board members. So be happy and proud about it. I think that changes a lot of things. Just mentally prepare yourself for everything. So that is all about personality development. And I think, Aarti, I can take a few questions if there are any, or if you want me to speak more, just let me know what is it that you want to ask.
Sure.
Now we will take questions from the chat box. Let me see. There are a lot of questions that are not related to personality development, but many of them wants to know that which coaching institute you opted for the prelims, mains, or interview.
I think I can read a few comments. Should I answer them?
Yes, you can, or I can read it for you if you want to.
Okay. It's all right. I can read them. So I have one from Meetan Jali, who's asking what will happen if one can leave blank hobby section in DAF form. Meetan, I would say it can be very dangerous because everyone has got to have one hobby at least. See, hobby does not have to be very professional. If your hobby is, say, browsing internet, write it. If your hobby is just to doodle, just write it. There are no hobbies that one cannot be doing nothing, right? So it is important to have a hobby because it also speaks a lot about you. It kind of gives them a window to explore more about who you are as a person, rather than always asking academic questions. And it's not something, they also know that you've cleared the main, so they are aware that you know a lot of things about, say, the international affairs, or the polity, or the geography. They know that you're aware about it, but they want to know who you are as a person. And by giving out your hobbies, it plays a very important role for them to discover you. And it's a very good opportunity for you to let them know that I can do a lot of things. See, if you like to dance, if you like to sing, if you like to play, if you like to watch cricket, even that is a hobby. Hobby is nothing but what you do in your pastime, right? Pass your time. So I'm pretty sure you. And if you don't have a hobby, please try and develop one in general, not just for UPSC, but in general, try to develop a hobby, because it's very important for you to stay sane that way. You cannot just be studying all the time. So please try and do that. Um, we have one from Naveen Kumar, who said, I want to know which coachings you joined for your prelims, mains, and personality tests. So I had been, I was, so I did 1 year of coaching from Delhi, from Vajiram and Ravi. Um, for personality test, I did not go for any coaching. Again, coachings are very dicey. So if you can afford it economically, or financially, and also time wise, it's a good thing if you can join the coaching. But I would say they're not an absolute help as well. At the end of the day, if you are
Ma'am, your mic is off.
am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So which question was I on? Since when has been my mic off?
Ma'am, you were on coaching.
When
Which
I said
coaching you
about
get?
blank hobby, blank.
Mm,
Okay, okay,
which coaching you got into?
okay.
That was the question.
Right. So I attended the coaching of Delhi. Right. So my coaching was Vajiram and Ravi in Delhi, and coachings again, it can be a good supplement, but it's not a mandatory thing. Without coaching as well, people have cleared the examination. So if you can afford it, feasible, it's if it's economically feasible and time wise, if you can afford it, it's good. But it is not something without which you can't clear the examination. So coachings are something. And for personality test, I did not go to any coaching. I had just attended a few mocks, two, three mocks, which were not of very good help, but it helps you to get into that zone of giving interviews. So it's that way it's good. Um, Vanshika Dhiman is asking, is ARC report help in our exams or is it good for reading? For ARC report, personally, I did not like read it thoroughly. You can read the headings because, to be very honest, the strategy of UPSC is all about minimum resources and maximum revision. So if you can stick to minimum core books, read them thoroughly and try to revise it regularly, that would help you much more than going through, say, because the resources are unlimited when it comes to UPSC. For you to even complete the syllabus is something that one cannot expect to do in this lifetime, to be very honest. Very frankly, I'm saying it's not easy. So just be confident of the core books that you're reading. The list is always available on the internet. Try and revise it again and again than going through a lot of supplements. ARC report, of course, you should go through it, but please do it very casually. Read the headings, and if you find something interesting, and if you have again a time for it, then read a few articles that you think is relevant according to the current affairs. Madhumita is asking, what do you think were the factors that pulled your rank down? My optional was something that I wasn't confident with. I read it just before my mains, and I knew that can be one of the reasons for me to not get good marks in my mains examination. So my optional was a weak point for me. My personality test that kind of saved me. I got good score there, so it balanced out. Amay Kumar is asking, should complete syllabus be complete before taking any test series? Amay, actually, no, you don't have to do that. See, there are test series where they ask, there are tests that takes portions of syllabus and test you accordingly. You can go through them on the internet. There are a lot of test series that take in for example, I know history ke they take four tests. So as soon as you are done with, say, a particular syllabus, you can give the test for that portion of the syllabus and then revise on and work on whatever mistakes happened, revise it and do it again. Complete syllabus, as I just mentioned, it is not possible for you to complete the syllabus and then go through the test series. I would say start giving the test series as soon as you're done with certain portions, because all boils down to how fast you can write in your mains examination and how fast you can understand the question, understand what you have to write, and express it very in a very clear and transparent manner, so that people who is the person who is checking your copy can understand what you're trying to show or reflect in your answers. That is very important. So complete syllabus, it's not a compulsion. You can give the portion wise test as well. There are a lot of test series. You can Google it. Miss Chaudhary is asking, ma'am, what pushed you towards giving the UPSC exam? Also, is it important to have a backup plan? I am in graduation, so should I go up for masters, build a backup, and then? Okay, so this is a very subjective questions, to be very honest. Pohini, I guess your name is Pohini. Um, what pushed me towards UPSC examination was that I've always wanted to be a part of the government machinery. See, this country we have is so diverse with a lot of diversity in every aspect, financially, economically, caste wise, culture wise, etc. How do you think as a country with such a united front we're able to work? It's because of this bureaucracy. So I find this very magical. So I always have wanted to be a part of it because it is something that I felt that I would be it would be such a prestigious thing for me to become a part of the government machinery that can take care of such a huge country. So that has always been a pushing factor for me, and I have been very clear about clearing the becoming a part of the government machinery and bureaucracy right from my childhood days, because my father has been someone who's always trained me in this direction, and that has been my motivation. It is important to have a backup plan. Personally, I did not have a backup plan, and there are two aspects to it. So one is that if you don't have a backup plan, you just work on it with a lot of passion, because you know that if I don't clear it, I don't have anywhere else to go. So you give your 110%. But at the same time, people who have a backup plan, they can also comfortably prepare because they don't have anything to lose. Even if this does not work out, they can always go back to it. So it all depends on what timing you have. See, if you are in your graduation and if you think that you're prepared and if you're ready to give everything that you have in yourself to this examination, then please go for this preparation, because the earlier you start, the better. I mean, first of all, you have a lot of time to keep giving the exam. You can learn from your mistakes, and it helps when you start early. But at the same time, if you want to go for masters, it can always give you a better perspective. You can get a lot mature. You can see the world more, and it gives you a different perspective for the UPSC examination. So both aspects are equally good. It has to be a personal decision, and it has to be your own decision, because if you think that if I tell you to start preparing and that gives you the motivation, then it will not last long. So see, it has to be your own decision. Don't worry about it. See, after graduation, you're eligible to give the examination. So just start preparing if you can. And if you think you have to do your masters and then start preparing, you can do that either too. But I think you should start early if you want to clear this examination. It just gives you a lot more time to do that. So again, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Sandeep Kumar is asking, ma'am, can you please tell us how can we manage time when we do preparation or college days? So I can tell you the timeline. It takes start reading the newspaper. If you're just start if you're just starting to prepare, start reading the newspaper, because newspaper will help you in prelims, mains, and the personality test. Newspaper reading will take initially it might take 2 to 3 hours, because you have to be very choosy of what you're reading. You don't have to read that a particular accident happened or this case happened. You have to know the core of it. So it usually takes 2 to 3 hours for you to understand the newspaper, because you have not been preparing for UPSC, so you might not be familiar with a lot of words. For example, quad is mentioned. What is quad? So you look up it. You'll Google it up. You'll know that it's a four country organization, and what it does and what it does not do. So that way, next time you read about code, you will not have to search for it, right? So that's how time reduces. So when the newspaper time reduces from 2 hours to 45 minutes, I'd say, till then, please stick only to newspaper. When you come to 45 minutes of newspaper time, when it takes you only 45 minutes to read the newspaper, then you can start reading the NCRTs. When you read the NCRT, try to read the NCRTs in a way that first go for first reading, then second reading, third reading. After 3 readings of NCRT, then you can switch to core books, which are the Lakshmikant for polity and Spectrum for history, etc. And if you have done all of this, then I think that you should soon see your name in the coveted PDF form as well. So this has to be the order. Timeline may differ from one person to another according to their speed and according to how they pick things up. So that helps, right? But this has to be the order. So for newspaper, till 45 minutes of newspaper, then NCRTs, and then your core books. Just do not start reading newspapers. That will be something that will help you throughout the examination and even after. So you can do that after college, coming from college, do these, and then I think it should be easy. Mansi is asking what board members usually check. That is the knowledge of the candidate or how the candidate react to the situation they are given. Mansi, it is the latter actually. See, the knowledge of the candidate has already been checked during the prelims and the mains examination. So knowledge is something that they're not looking for. They know you must have answered the questions according to the situation. That's why you're here in the personality test. It is how you react to the situation that they give. Even for the questions, for example, if they ask you a factual question, how you're replying to the question is much more important than what you're replying to the question. Content is important for sure, but the way you present it, the way you are speaking about it in the most articulate form, that helps a lot. So it is actually how they react to the situation is much more important. Tarun is asking how to improve our analytical skills for personality test. Okay, so see, personality test is basically how you speak, how you present your views. So if I'm talking about something and if those things are not getting registered to you, then I am failing, right? So everything boils down to how you're articulate with your answers. If they're asking you something, be brief about it, be very clear about it, and if you don't know the answer, be honest about it. So it all depends on your articulation skills, how you're. So for that, read the newspaper. When you read the newspaper, your opinions are formed. When you explore the world, see, you have to be very. Whenever a certain issue comes up, you should be able to have an opinion about it. You cannot be someone who does not know. You want to be a voiceless person who do not have an opinion about it. Be a neutral person. That doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, right? So you need to have certain a certain opinion about everything. So be honest and articulate in your in whatever you read. Read a lot. That helps. That always help. Be sure about who you are. Be very real to yourself. Try and discover your own personality. Try and understand your own flaws. Work on those flaws. Be confident about the positive points that you have that sets you apart. You know everyone is unique, so just embrace that uniqueness and be the best version of yourself. That helps. Um, Hamid is asking, what can one do if he or she is not flawless in English communication? Ma'am, any tips for improving conversation? See, there are interview you can give in English or your Hindi as well. Interview may there's no, I mean, in English and Hindi there are two languages that one can speak. But communication के लिए you have to be very clear and crisp about your answers. See, either English or Hindi. The bottom line is that whatever they're asking from you, you should know. I mean, your answer should register to them in the most brief and crisp manner, in the most articulate form. For improving your communication skills, again, I would say read a lot. When you read and try and have certain communications and conversations with, say, people who are preparing with you, or people, if you're not preparing in a group, then maybe look into the mirror and try and answer questions and try and ask yourself certain questions and give the answers on the spot. You may feel that you're not giving your best, or you may feel there are days when you don't feel the best version of yourself. So it's okay, just be kind to yourself that way. But uh, tips for improving conversation is read and practice in by looking into the mirror, or have certain conversations with your friends in English. If you want to improve your English, then have those conversations in English. That helps. And you pre Naveen is asking, you prepared at your home or you live alone? No, I was preparing from my home. Suraj, how to mentally prepare for for civil services? Okay, so mentally you have to be very see it mental thing is something that one has to be very clear about, that this examination is not everything. This examination is not your life. It a lot depends on your luck as well. So if even if you have given 100%, chances of you not getting selected is equally high. So don't be so hard and harsh about yourself. It's okay if you don't clear in the first go or the second go. Just don't give up easily. It is worth the risk that you take. To mentally prepare, always have people around you, your loved ones. They can help you out. If you feel down, that there are days when you feel like, what have I gotten into? All my peers are getting ahead in their lives, and I am stuck here preparing for something I don't even know if I'll clear or not. So in that way, just talk to your friends, talk to your family, people who you love. They will help you out. um, and always search for the reason why you started to prepare for this examination, why you wanted to serve the country, you wanted to become a part of this services for whatever reason. Go back to the root of why you started preparing for this. Why are you so passionate about it? And usually it is one thing that is always so unique to you, that will stay with you. You cannot be motivated by someone all the while, right? That will not last long. It should come from within. So if you have that passion to prepare for this examination, and it is coming from your core and from within, then you will always find a way to get out of that loop of maybe sadness or lack of motivation. It will always work out at the end of the day. So please remember why you started to prepare for the civil services. And if you want to start prepared to you want to mentally prepare yourself for civil services, then be sure that there are going to be a lot of ups and downs, and you have to be very strict of the fact that you cannot let anything bring you down, right? If you do that, then it's good. Shyam Sundar is asking, say something about beginner with science stream. Science stream, Shyam, a lot of people who clear the examination are from engineering background or science background. In fact, 80%, I would say, safely, safe side, 80% people are engineers only. So for them, First of all, UPSC में there's no stream का चक्कर. Of course, if you come from a humanities background, it may help you with your optional subject, but you'll have to start from scratch. So again, read the newspaper, NCRTs, and your core books, and you're good to go, regardless of any stream that you belong to, right? So there's no point. Shangvi is asking how different or difficult is it to deal as science background students as compared. I think answered the question. For art students, see, they do have an advantage when it comes to their optional subjects if they have been studying those subjects for the last 3 years or 5 years, as opposed to a science student who do not. We do Science students do not have a lot of options in terms of number of subjects coming from their stream. Even with GS 1, 2, 3, there are subjects like history and economics, which science students may not have read about. But again, the selection ratio, if you look at it, a majority people come from science background. So it is not difficult. Just don't try and compare your journey with anyone else's. Just focus on your own journey. Try and complete your syllabus. Try and read the newspaper daily, and you're good to go. There is not me. Everything you have to start from scratch either way. So it's better to not be intimidated by the fact that that girl or boy comes from that background and it's easier for him or her. It's okay, no? If he gets selected, you can also get selected. That's all right. Just focus on your own journey. Ma'am, Hindu newspaper is compulsory. Why not others? It's not. Gaurav, that's not the case. You may read Indian Express. There are a lot of newspapers, but Hindu is something that has always been. You get a lot of crisp knowledge in that newspaper, but is the print or Indian Express. So it is that is not a compulsion. Just read a newspaper. Don't have to be. That newspaper should not have glamorous news. They should have the core news that you should. That is useful for the examination. That's why. Rahul, which newspaper is good for preparation? Again, we have the Hindu, the Indian Express. These are the two newspapers that is very common amongst the aspirants. Vikas is asking newspaper for Hindi medium. I'm really sorry, Vikas. I'm not aware of any Hindi medium newspaper. Um, I'm not really aware. I don't want to give a wrong answer. But if you Google it up, I'm pretty sure you'll find more options on that. Madhumita is asking me, was IRS your first choice? If not, will you try again? IRS was my second choice. My first was administrative service, but I'm really happy with my service. I'm just very honored to be a part of the services. Uh, I don't think I'll be giving the exam again. I'm really done. I'm Saksham is asking, ma'am, which background are you from? Okay, I am from science background. I've done my engineering and information technology. So I'm from science background. Ananya is asking, can you tell us about your experience after selection? After selection, Ananya, it was very overwhelming, a very good atmosphere because I was happy that finally my hard work paid off. I still think that I'm extremely lucky. So 2, 3 months we were very happy, and then I went for my training, and from there on I'm still undergoing training. There are ups and downs, but that's how life is. But I think I'm very incredibly lucky to be a part of the services, and I'm very happy. Sakshi is asking, ma'am, Bipin Chandra or Spectrum? Both, ideally both. But there's an NCRT of Bipin Chandra, so read that first and then read the Spectrum. Both are not very heavy books, so you can read both. But Spectrum is something that UPSC aspirants should read. Either way, Bipin Chandra ka NCRT one should read, or Spectrum. If there's an option, I would say Spectrum. But please try and read Bipin Chandra of NCRT. It is a very small book. You can read it. Uh, Rishu is asking the question that I've already answered. Uh, फुल बाबू डीयू सिंह, आप हिंदी में कुछ नहीं बता सकती हैं क्या? यूपीएससी हिंदी माध्यम में नहीं है? हिंदी माध्यम में भी यूपीएससी होता है, बिल्कुल मैं बता सकती हूँ हिंदी में भी कुछ। लेकिन मेरा तो जितना मीडियम रहा है वो इंग्लिश मीडियम में रहा है, तो सारे क्वेश्चंस मैंने इसलिए इंग्लिश में आंसर करे हैं। बाकी तो Naveen is asking, ma'am, how to decide optional subject and how you decided optional subject. Optional subject, yes, it's a very important question, Naveen. For me, my optional was sociology. So I usually, because I have done my engineering IT, information technology. So information technology was not there in any of the optional subject ke options mein. So I took up the I looked up at the syllabus. So first of all, it's important to look at the syllabus of all the optional subject, which is available on the UPSC website. Then try and find something that you can have an interest in. So social issues ko leke I have always been very interested. So when I read about the syllabus, I felt this is the closest I can think of in terms ki, because see, optional is the baki sub mein, when you read about the GS ke baki subjects, you need to know on the surface a lot of things, but in optional subjects you have to get into the depth. So for that, it is important for you to have an absolute interest in it, because you'll have to study optional for the longest time. You'll have to give two papers of 250 marks each on optional, and they ask you questions in depth. So look at the syllabus. For me, the major factor was social issues is something I'm interested in, so that worked out. Uske alawa, vastness of the syllabus, the depth of the syllabus, your interest in that subject, everything plays a role. So that way, just look at the syllabus and then you'll know whether you want to do it or not. And look at the previous year's question papers, how questions were asked. If you're able to understand them, if you're able to if you think that you can read and answer these questions, and that helps. Saksham is asking, did you prepare while drop out from placement or give time after joining placement? So no, after college I started preparing for UPSC right away. I did not join anything. Jatin is asking, how can we constant in a preparation? So consistency in preparation is very important. हर दिन आपको पढ़ना है. आप ऐसे नहीं कर सकते कॉलेज की तरह that one day I'm studying, एक हफ्ता निकल गया, break दे दिया, फिर मैंने पढ़ना शुरू किया, because that will not help. You'll have to be, first of all, newspaper तो daily आता है ना. Daily you'll have to read the newspaper. So do not skip on that. Then after that you'll have to give 2-3 hours at least to one subject, and you need a proper timetable. You need to have a strategy. You need to know कि एक timeline बनाना है, that I need to complete these subjects in these many hours or these many times or these many days or months or howsoever. So you have to be consistent. For that you have to prepare yourself. You can't do, even if you don't feel like studying, ठीक है, एक दो दिन you can think that I don't want to study today, that's all right, but do not skip on your newspaper. बाकी सब तो you can manage. Divyanshi, how to prepare for current affairs? So for current affairs, please again read the newspaper. Along with that, there are a lot of monthly publications by a lot of coaching institutes available online. Also in Delhi, a lot of new those publications, key booklets you'll get, monthly magazines. Go through that; it's more than enough. Gaurav is asking, after training, where we have to go. You go to, first there's a foundation course which is usually in Labasna, Masuri. After that you go to your respective departmental training ke academies mein. Was for me, mine is Nasin Academy for IRS officers. Sakshi is asking, ma'am, I'm not from a good college. Will that be a negative point in personality test? Absolutely not, Sakshi. Absolutely not. There is no negative point in personality test. People who have scored very low in their college examination, they have failed in their college examination. People have scored very low in their 10th, in their 12th. Still, they get very good ranks and very good marks in personality test, because it is all about how you present yourself. See, if you're not, first of all, there's no such thing as a good college or bad college. I think we're talking about reputed college or not. That is not an issue at all. They won't ask you much. In fact, they're not even bothered by a lot of things. They'll ask you if you have certain, say if you have gotten very low marks in certain subject, they might ask you what happened. You just tell them what happened. You say, I was not feeling well, or I was not prepared, or I did not study well. Just be honest. And not from coming from a good college is nothing. I mean, they will never be bothered about it. You just have to be good and confident, and just think about it. If you've cleared the mains examination, you're forming such a small percentage of people who are able to go to a personality test. So be confident about the fact that I've reached till this stage and nothing can bring me down, and nothing, there's no such thing as good college or bad college. Just get this out of your head. Be confident in your preparation. Divyanshi is again asking, ma'am, how to prepare for current affairs, especially in geography and environment, and which monthly magazine is better, Vision or Insights? Vision and Insights both are equally good. Vision's monthly magazine is slightly better, and for me, it was slightly better. Current affairs in geography and environment. See, current affairs to hai ki whatever is happening in the world, and see, for example, forest fires were happening and still happening in Odisha's, right? So you'll read about it in the newspaper. Keep newspaper your priority. After that, go for the monthly magazine, and whatever is being covered don't have to specifically be a geography environment thing. You'll come across them, but other than that, in vision and insights there are certain sections that are dedicated to geography and environment. Just read that and it's more than enough. Anil is asking, how can I read important topics of newspaper because it contains many topics which are not useful from UPSC CSE. That's true, Anil, and that will come from practice. When you read newspaper, supplement it with a monthly magazine and you'll know the relevance of certain topics and certain not. That usually helps. So when you read supplement it with a monthly magazine, and when you read the newspaper, you'll know that this particular news is absolutely no importance.
Uh,
This one was, so that usually helps.
Good evening, ma'am.
There is about test series. Yes.
Um Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, but I had two generalized questions, and they are my personal
Yes,
doubts
yes.
as well. The reason I
Hmm.
wanted to keep this session on for the topic personality development was like
Hmm.
people are there in my society also, and I have known people like
Hmm.
they are introvert. Basically, they are
Right.
introvert, and like college students sometimes, like I am also a society member, so sometimes it happens
Hmm.
that I can't take a decision spontaneously. I fail to take decisions spontaneously, and
Hmm.
as you know that as a bureaucrat we have to take decision spontaneously, and they are to be taken that way. So ma'am, how to mold our personality like that?
Hmm. How to speak more, you mean?
Yeah, how to take decision spontaneously, and how to mold our personality. Like many are there that they can't speak. Like if
Hmm.
you are a bureaucrat, people expect
Hmm.
that uh, that आई विल कंटिन्यू इन हिंदी। लाइक जैसे कोई भी दंगा
हाँ.
हो जाता है या फिर कोई भी
हाँ.
ऐसा समस्या आ जाती है, तो विलेजर एक्सपेक्ट कि अब वो आपके पास आए और आप उनका कोई सॉल्यूशन निकालो। बट
Hmm.
अगर आप ही की इतनी कन्विंसिंग पावर ना हो कि आप उनको,
Hmm.
फिर आप कैसे करें उससे कोप अप, कैसे अपनी पर्सनालिटी उस तरह से मोल्ड करें?
देखो, पर्सनालिटी तो है ना, एक ऐसी चीज है कि हमें लगता है कि सिलेक्शन के बाद आपको सीधा भेज रहे हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट और जाके उनको संभालो। ऐसा तो होता नहीं है।
हाँ।
वो आपको रॉ रॉ चेक करेंगे आपका। जो देखो, आप इंट्रोवर्ट हो चाहे एक्सट्रोवर्ट हो, एक आपकी एज एन आपका कुछ तो होंगे किसी चीज़ के बारे में।
हाँ।
ठीक है, आप कोई आर्टिकल रीड करोगे तो आपके मन में कुछ तो जगेगा ना इसके लिए कि ये तो गलत हुआ या ये सही हुआ, या ऐसे करना चाहिए था या ऐसे किया। ठीक है, कुछ भी आता है आपके मन में, वो आपके मन तक है। आपको प्रोसीजर नहीं पता ये आप कैसे करोगे, है ना। आप सोचते हो कि सिलेक्शन के बाद तुरंत आपको यहाँ भेज देंगे, ऐसे नहीं होता है। आपका सिलेक्शन होता है, उसके बाद आपको अच्छे से ट्रेन किया जाता है। ट्रेनिंग के दौरान आपको ये सब चीजें सिखाई जाती है कि आपको ऐसे सिचुएशंस में कैसे डील करना है, ऐसे सिचुएशन में आप क्या बोलेंगे। ये सब कुछ आपको सिखाया जाएगा ड्यूरिंग ट्रेनिंग। आपको सिलेक्ट किया जाता है कि आपको वो ट्रेनिंग देने के लायक आप हो कि नहीं हो, कि आप में वो खूबियां या क्वालिटीज है कि नहीं, कि आप एक सही डिसीजन लोगे, आप फेयर इंसान हो कि नहीं हो, आप डिस्क्रिमिनेशन तो नहीं करोगे, आप कहीं किसी को ऊपर ऊंचा नीचा तो नहीं देखो, कहीं आप में अभी से तो घमंड नहीं आ गया है ना। तो आपको बस इतना रखना है कि आप यू स्टे ट्रू टू योर सेल्फ। बाकी कोई आपसे आके सोल्यूशन पूछेगा, वो इंस्टेंटेनियसनेस या वो जो आप बोल रहे हो ऑन द स्पॉट क्या सोल्यूशन निकलेगा, वो सब आपको सिखाया जाएगा। वो कहीं ना कहीं आपको अपने आप आ जाएगा जब आपको पता होगा कि मेरे पास ये प्रोसीजर है। जैसे कि हर चीज आपको लगता है, दूर से दिखता है कि ये तो ऐसे उंगली एक चुटकी बजाई ये हो गया, ऐसा नहीं होता ना। सब एक चीज का प्रोसीजर होता है, हर चीज के एक आपको प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करने होते हैं, हर चीज का एक सेट ऑफ एक्शंस होते हैं जो लेना होता है। वो सब आपको सिखाया जाएगा ट्रेनिंग के दौरान, और आपको फिर पता होगा कि क्या बोलना है। अगर वो आपसे आके पूछेंगे तो आप बता पाएंगे कि अभी ये होगा। टेक्निकलिटीज में मेरे हाथ में ये चीज है और ये मैं तुरंत कर दूंगी, है ना। इतना ही होता है, और कुछ ऐसा कुछ बहुत बड़ी चीज नहीं है। इंट्रोवर्ट एक्सट्रोवर्ट का तो कोई काम ही नहीं है इसमें, बस आपको, क्योंकि वहां पे सिर्फ आप ही को बोलना है। तो आप इधर, इवन इफ यू आर नॉट एन इंट्रोवर्ट एक्सट्रोवर्ट, डजंट मैटर, आपको वहां बोलना है और आपसे जो सवाल पूछा जाएगा सिर्फ आपको उसका जवाब देना है ना। तो उसमें इंट्रोवर्ट एक्सट्रोवर्ट वाली बात ही नहीं आती है। उसके अलावा सोल्यूशन क्या देना है या वहां पे सिचुएशन में आपसे क्या पूछा जाए, आप कैसे बताओगे उसका आंसर, वो आएगा कि आप कितने एक्टिव हो, कितने अवेयर हो, आपके बगल में क्या चल रहा है, आपको पता है कि क्या चल रहा है। सो आपके डिस्ट्रिक्ट में क्या हो रहा है या कोई न्यूज़ आ गई, तो आप उसके बारे में जब पढ़ोगे तो आपका खुद का एक ओपिनियन बिल्ड होगा। आपको उस
हम्म,
पे काम करने के लिए आप उस न्यूज़पेपर रीड करो, आप न्यूज़ चैनल्स देखो, राज्यसभा टीवी देखो, लोकसभा टीवी देखो, एक्सपर्ट्स की ओपिनियन सुनो। उससे क्या होगा, आपको एक वेल इन्फॉर्म्ड आंसर होगा, क्योंकि आप साइड कोट कर पाओगे कि इन्होंने ये बोला था, वो एक वेल रेप्यूटेड इंसान है, उन्होंने ऐसे बोला, तो ऑफ कोर्स वो सही चीज होगी,
हम्म।
है ना। तो ऐसे आप जब आप बहुत ज्यादा रीड करते हो तो आपके पास इन्फॉर्मेशन आती है, तो उस हिसाब से आपको कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप हो जाता है, एंड यू नो व्हाट यू टॉकिंग अबाउट, तो उस तरह से काम हो जाता है।
Okay, ma'am. There was one more question. Like many people have many hobbies. Like for example, I have 2 to 3 hobbies. Like I like
राइट।
singing, I like sketching also, I like doodling and
यस।
all this. So, ma'am, how to
राइट।
select hobbies according to that? Like which hobbies we should select and which hobbies we should not. Like there are people who like everything. Like
नो देर इज।
yeah,
हम्म।
ma'am.
हाँ, सो राइट एज मेनी, सी बॉटम लाइन इज यू हैव टू लेट देम नो, जितनी ज्यादा हॉबीज उतना अच्छा है, क्योंकि उस हिसाब से दे हैव एज मेनी क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट। और अगर आप सिंगिंग करते हैं, आप स्केचिंग भी करते हैं, आप डूडलिंग भी करते हैं, तो
Hmm.
इसमें दो चीजें होती है। एक तो अगर आप ये जेन्युइनली हॉबीज करते हैं, अगर आप जेन्युइन हैं इनके बारे में, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको इनसे रिलेटेड कुछ भी क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा, यू कैन इजीली आंसर,
Hmm.
बिकॉज यू हैव दैट इंटरेस्ट इन इट। दूसरा है, आपका सब कुछ सरफेस पे है, तो इट वुड बी सेफ टू कीप 2 to 3 हॉबीज, जिसके बारे में कुछ भी पूछा जाए तो आपके पास बताने को कुछ तो हो, है ना। अगर आप सब कुछ लिख दो, सिंगिंग डांसिंग सब कुछ आता है आपको, जेन्युइनली आता है, तो इससे अच्छी चीज हो ही नहीं सकती है। लेकिन अगर आपको किसी चीज के बारे में आप इतने श्योर नहीं हो, कि मानो उसके बारे में, इसमें इसको अवार्ड किसको मिला था, डूडलिंग, अच्छा तो डूडलिंग का वो कहाँ से हुआ है, मतलब हु यूज्ड टू, कौन से फेमस पर्सनालिटीज थे डूडल करते थे। सो वैन गो है बहुत बड़े पेंटर, वो डूडल करते हैं, इसके बारे में क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया तो आप क्या बताओगे। तो इस तरह से आप खुद ही लिंक करो चीजों को, अपने आप वो लिंक अप होगा। तो वैसे तो आई वुड से लिमिटेड हॉबीज रखो, जिसके बारे में आप एब्सोल्युटली श्योर हो, और आपकी जो जेन्युइन हॉबीज हो उसको मेंशन करो। और अगर आपकी इतनी सारी हॉबीज और आपको एक्चुअल में इन सब के बारे में आता है, तो इससे बढ़िया कुछ है ही नहीं। मेंशन दोज हॉबीज जिसके बारे में यू नो एवरीथिंग, और एटलीस्ट यू हैव द कैपेसिटी टू नो अबाउट देम, है ना। तो वो हो जाता है।
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
हम्म। um so how, there's a question from
Ma'am,
Gaurav, fitness and everything, yes.
last question, as they are never-ending questions.
Yes.
So there's a last question from
Hmm.
my side. That is, it's generally said
Yes.
that knowledge is that boosts your confidence. That if you have a knowledge, then
Hmm.
you will certainly have the confidence to say so. But there are many a
Hmm.
times in my case that even when I know
Hmm.
things, even when I have the proper knowledge, I can't express myself. I go
Hmm.
blank in front of people.
Hmm.
Please,
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
you help me to tackle this?
Hmm. Megha, this happens with a lot of people. I think you're not the only one. I know a lot of people who are very well aware and informed about certain things, but when it comes to speaking about it, वो नहीं बोल पाते, या उनके पास they don't have the right words to be very precise, है ना। तो how do you do? First of all, I would say ना, try to write your thoughts down. So if you have knowledge about a certain things, तो क्या होता है ना, we have a lot of knowledge but we don't know how to express it, तो बोलने से पहले try to write down. When you write it down, you will realize कि I have these many points, तो इसके बारे में मैं इसके या तो और रीड कर लूँ, या फिर इसको मैं थोड़ा और कंसाइज में रखूँ। फर्स्ट ट्राई टू राइट योर थॉट्स डाउन, तो इससे दो चीजें होंगी। एक तो यू विल बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर योर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन। दूसरा, व्हेन यू ट्राई स्टार्ट राइटिंग, दोज थॉट्स विल कम इन योर हेड इन बुलेट पॉइंट्स एज वेल। जब आप बुलेट पॉइंट्स में किसी टॉपिक के बारे में लिखोगे, तो आपकी थॉट प्रोसेस भी इस तरह डेवलप हो जाएगी कि जब आपसे इसके बारे में पूछा जाएगा, तो आपके पास भी बुलेट पॉइंट्स में उसके आंसर होंगे। तो आई वुड सजेस्ट एंड आई वुड एडवाइस कि आप लिखना स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, जो भी आपको नॉलेज है ना, ट्राई टू राइट देम डाउन। तो उससे क्या होता है कि आपके पास एक आर्टिकुलेट मैनर में एक स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म होगा, यू विल नो विच पॉइंट टू प्रेजेंट फर्स्ट एंड विच पॉइंट टू प्रेजेंट लास्ट। क्या इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे पहले बतानी चाहिए, क्या इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे बाद में बतानी चाहिए, क्या मुझे नहीं बतानी चाहिए, ये सब प्रैक्टिस से आ जाता है व्हेन यू स्टार्ट राइटिंग डाउन। उसके अलावा हैव कॉन्वर्सेशंस विद पीपल हु आर इन द सिमिलर प्रेपरेशन, वो आपकी हेल्प कर सकते हैं। एंड इवेंचुअली यू विल गेट इन द फ्लो। ऐसा नहीं है यू ब्लैंक आउट जो हो जाते वो वाली बात है। तो यू ट्राई टू हैव दिस पब्लिक स्पीकिंग थिंग्स if you can in your workplace or your study place। डिबेट वगैरह होते होंगे आपके यहाँ, सोसाइटीज होंगी, ट्राई एंड जॉइन देम, बी अ लिटिल मोर एक्टिव, थोड़ा कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकल के ट्राई टू हैव कॉन्वर्सेशंस विद पीपल हु यू डोंट नो मे बी। उससे क्या होता है, यू विल गेट इन द हैबिट ऑफ वर्ड्स, चॉइस ऑफ वर्ड्स में हेल्प हो जाती है, whether or not you are able to speak on it or not, that helps। writing down, उसके अलावा try to overcome this fear। तो have as many conversation, join a lot of clubs and society और debates, read वीडियो आप देख सकते हैं यूट्यूब पे जो इस पर्टिकुलर चीज में आपकी हेल्प करेंगे। बट यू विल डू इट मेघा, आई एम प्रिटी श्योर you will be able to articulately express yourself when it comes to the right point।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for motivating us. It was really informative. You got to know that knowing yourself is what is expected from us, and honesty is what gives you an edge to do so. So, coming to an end, I would like to call upon our convener, Dr. Rajesh sir, who is the backbone of our society, to extend the vote of thanks.
नमस्कार। मैं अभी भी यात्रा में हूँ, पर मैं आप लोगों की सारी बात सुन रहा था। मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई कि आज हमारा आखिरी सेशन बहुत ही जरूरी मुद्दों को लेकर केंद्रित था। आज की अपनी वक्ता और हमारी मेहमान उर्वी वर्मा ने जितनी धीरज के साथ और जितनी साफगोई आपके शख्सियत, आपकी पर्सनालिटी को विकसित करने के लिए उसके हर आयाम को खोला, मेरा पूरा ख्याल है कि आप सब उससे सहमत भी होंगे और बहुत सारी चीजों को सीखे होंगे। मैं इनकी पूरे भाषण से अगर 2-3 बात आप लोगों के लिए फिर से याद दिलाऊं, जिसको बहुत आप गांठ बांध लें तो आपके लिए बहुत आसान होगा। पहली बात कि आप जो हॉबी चुनते हैं आप उसके विशेषज्ञ नहीं हैं। आप जब थक जाते हैं पढ़ाई से, आपका मस्तिष्क जब थक जाता है, तब आप उसको रिलैक्स करने के लिए जो आपकी हॉबी है उसका सहारा लेते हैं। तो उसमें आप सर्वज्ञ हों ये जरूरी नहीं है, पर उसकी बेसिक चीजें, उससे जुड़ी हुई मूलभूत बातें आपको पता होना चाहिए। दूसरी बात कि जब आप इंटरव्यू बोर्ड के सामने हैं तो आपको हमेशा याद रहे कि सामने बैठा हुआ जो व्यक्ति बैठा है, जो समूह है, वो बेहद विशेषज्ञ हैं और बहुत अनुभवी लोग हैं। तो आप उनको धोखा नहीं दे सकते। तो जरूरी जाए और आप उसका जवाब नहीं जानते हैं तो झूठ बोलने की बजाय या उनको भ्रम में रखने की कोशिश न की जाए। आप ईमानदारी के साथ अपने बारे में बता दें कि ये सवाल मैं नहीं जानता या मैं नहीं जानती। इसके जरिए मुझे जो समझ में आई कि आपके भीतर, आपके जेहन की, आपके व्यक्तित्व की ईमानदारी की खूबी कि आप ऑनेस्ट हैं अपने प्रति भी, आप अपनी कमजोरी को स्वीकार कर सकते हैं। तो ये दूसरी बात बहुत जरूरी है, ये गांठ बांध लेने की है। क्योंकि आप स्टूडेंट हैं, आप दुनिया की सारी चीजों को तो जान नहीं सकते। सामने जो व्यक्ति बैठा है वो आपसे कई दशक ज्यादा अनुभव वाला है, 1-2 पीढ़ी पुराना इंसान है वो, तो आप उसको भ्रम में भी नहीं रख सकते। तीसरी बात कि आप सुने उनकी बात को और अच्छे से धीरज के साथ आप उनके सवाल को या उनकी आपत्तियों को सुने। आप अपनी असहमति को उनसे बताएं भी तो बहुत ही हुनर और लियाकत के साथ, शील के साथ, मर्यादा के साथ, बहुत ही विनम्रता के साथ, जिससे ये न लग रहा हो कि आप कुछ जिरह कर रहे हैं उनसे। इन 3 बातों को अगर आप गांठ बांध लें, इसके अलावा भी इन्होंने बहुत विस्तार से सारी बातों को रखा और आपके सवालों का भी जवाब दिया। तो हम लोगों के सालाना प्रोग्राम का जो ये तीसरा और आखिरी दिन का आयोजन है, वो एक तरह से पूरे पैकेज को लेकर चलने वाला है। ये संपूर्ण हो जा रहा है। मैं दधीची की कन्वेनर और जो लोग इसमें इन्वॉल्व थे, उन सारे विद्यार्थियों को बधाई देना चाहूंगा इस विषय को। को मैं देख रहा हूं कि एक उर्मी और संयोग से मैं यात्रा में जहां से चल रहा था, मेरे साथ मेरे बगल 1977 बैच के आईपीएस मेरे साथ थे, जो रिटायर्ड हुए नेशनल सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल नेशनल पुलिस एकेडमी के डायरेक्टर के तौर पर मेरे साथ थे। और उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि इस लड़की को अभी भी कितनी ऊर्जा है, देखो जरा, ये आप सोचिए, अच्छे से सारी बात बता रही है और पूरी ऊर्जा के साथ। तो मैंने कहा उन ही लोग, उर्मी वर्मा जैसे लोग हमारे इस दधीची के बैकबोन की तरह हैं, जिनको हम अप्रोच करते हैं, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स अप्रोच करते हैं और वो अपने समय, कीमती समय से वक्त निकालकर हम लोगों के साथ अपने अनुभव को साझा करते हैं। कोचिंग को लेकर भी इन्होंने जो बातें कही, इन्होंने खुद किया है, पर आजकल कोचिंग में जिस तरह का फी स्ट्रक्चर हो गया है, वो सबके लिए संभव नहीं है। मुझे खुद बहुत खुशी है, मुझे तो अच्छा लगा है। आप सब भी, आप सोचिए 1977 बैच बहुत पुराना हो गया। जो व्यक्ति एक राज्य के डीजीपी के तौर पर अपनी सेवा दे चुका हो, या जहां आईपीएस की ट्रेनिंग होती है उसका डायरेक्टर रह चुका हो, उनको भी सारी बातों को सुनकर बहुत अच्छा लगा। तो मैं दधीची की तरफ से, राजधानी कॉलेज दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से बहुत ही शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। और हमारे बच्चे आपको औपचारिक धन्यवाद देंगे, पर हम लोग मान कर चल रहे हैं कि आप भी हमारी दधीची परिवार की एक सदस्य हैं। तो आपके आगे के जीवन के लिए बहुत शुभकामनाएं और आपकी सफलता के लिए बहुत बधाइयाँ। और हम आशा करते हैं कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ आप आगे भी अपना संबंध रखेंगी और इनका मार्गदर्शन करेंगी। बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really an honor to have you here. We got to learn a lot of things from you, and we are really, really thankful for that. We hope to meet you on physically soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Megha, and thank you, everyone. And have a nice day. Thank you so much.